protecting consumers, especially vulnerable people like senior citizens, from schemes which can put themselves or their precious savings at risk is a top priority. I recently announced the filing of a lawsuit against a company called Lear Capital, Inc. Lear sells gold and silver coins. We've alleged a series of unfair and deceptive practices that often seem to involve senior citizens, and sometimes we claim folks have lost substantial chunks of their life savings. Here's what I mean. We claim that Lear has a deceptive business model that sometimes misleads consumers into failing to understand the amount of Lear's fees, which can be as high as 33%, which is outrageous. And we claim in our lawsuit that all too often Lear's customers put their faith in Lear's representations only to find out about problems later. In our lawsuit, we say that one reason for this might be that Lear limits its communications with its customers involving the specific terms of their individual transactions to the phone until after the transaction is consummated. Now, in our lawsuit, we claim that customers have complained to Lear about their fees or other issues, and that sometimes Lear doesn't even respond to those complaints. But we say that sometimes Lear has. In our lawsuit, we claim that its representatives have said things like, "Tough luck," or "better luck next time," or "if you pursue a complaint here, we're going to turn our law department loose on you," or "our legal department will eat you alive." And here's the thing, we claim that Lear doesn't offer refunds. So here's what we're seeking. We want an injunction to stop the practices we've alleged in our complaint. We want restitution for Lear's alleged victims. And we want penalties imposed on Lear for the practices we've alleged, because we want to hold them accountable and because we want to deter future conduct like this. Let me put all this in some context. The essence of what our lawsuit contends is there are consumers, often older consumers, who place major portions of their entire life savings in Lear's hands. They place their faith in Lear, and that often there have been devastating consequences. When I announced the lawsuit, a gentleman stood next to me who is a former customer of Lear's. He said he'd been given to believe that the fee for his transaction would be 5%. He says he was astonished to learn the fee instead was 33%. So he says the moment his transaction was consummated, he lost $300,000. Now, he says he complained to Lear. One of Lear's responses, he says, "Well, you should have paid closer attention." So, for consumers, especially when you're involved in a significant transaction, be sure to reduce the terms of that transaction to writing first, and be sure you understand those terms before the deal's done. And for companies, companies need to act with their customers' best interests at heart, especially when they have reason to believe those customers could be vulnerable. I'm Mike Feuer, the Los Angeles City Attorney. Thanks for watching.